Well, hello people, and welcome to another episode of the City Showcase. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we are looking at the city of Decorare by Atorbooks, which is a build-along of Orchid Bay on the Bay of Rivers map, which I am tremendously excited to look around. Of course, a couple of weeks ago we had a build on Murky Coast, and now we finally have one on Bay of Rivers. It is very lightly modded with Move It and 821 tiles, but otherwise this is a vanilla quality of life build, using only official assets. And don't forget, if you want your city to be on the next episode, fill out the link to the Google form down below. Otherwise, let's get tucked into this, shall we? I'm very excited to be back in the Bay of Rivers. So let's get the grander perspective first of all, right? He has really filled the map pretty much to the extent that we filled Orchid Bay with. This is a big city, there's 160,000 people here, which is actually larger than Orchid Bay. Orchid Bay was 144,000, I think. So of course, there is only one place to start, the starting roundabout interchange here. And I'm really smiling, I'm super excited to look around this. It's almost like being back in Orchid Bay. I'm very happy. So let's check out the traffic. 90% is mental. That's really, really high for a population of 162,000, especially without traffic manager. Although I should also add that rebalanced industries is on, so that will be affecting how many cars are on the road, so that should be factored in as well. But look at this. Holy smokes, there's a lot of ambulances here, isn't there? You boys alright? Holy crap, there we go. Yes, anyway, let's enjoy the opening interchange show. So it's got a bit of a ramp over the starting roundabout here as well, but great traffic flow around it. And then coming into Church, what did you name it? I'm actually quite curious as to what this is called. Can we see? It's called Chelsea, wonderful. Nice rich area, of course. But the main avenue down to the Castle Island, which he took in a totally different direction, right? He did a big park over here, and this arterial road going straight over. But really nice connectivity, the waterfront around here. Got some great action with the open air mall. Up against some nice towers over here. Although we do have some surviving Mars assets present. These ones here. Not a fan of those. Don't like them. But besides that, it's all very nice. I love the tram pedestrian waterfront through here. It's quite surreal, this, actually, because this is like a real follow along. This is I'm putting the tram roads where you're going to put them back. It's quite surreal to look around. It kind of feels like I'm looking around Orchid Bay, but I'm not at the same time. And lots of cycling infrastructure through the middle here. In terms of where we'll go, I guess we'll follow the episode progression, right? And we checked out all this stuff over here too. Of course, we had a big factory over here. But lots of park space here with walkable rivers, bridges back into what looks like a luxury suburb that spans up into the hills there, doesn't it? We'll get to that a little bit later on. But very tasty indeed. He's got sports parks in here as well with fencing and bush lining. Definitely the Orchid Bay build along, isn't it, with the bush lines? Love this. Really, really nicely done. Adds a lot of landscaping vibes, doesn't it? A little bush line pathway. A lot of impact in it, I think. I love the extended crop fields over here. This is a great little farmland. It's got the bakery tucked in, livestock fields as well, flour mills, some slaughterhouses, bit of industrial evolution over here too. All next to the untouched starting interchange. He's not done anything with this here apart from the ramps we added for the power plant, which looks like he's done oil. But that was a much later build. We'll come to that as we swing around the mountain. With the couplet system here, has he pretty much done the same as what we did? Yeah, it's coming over. We did slightly different angles here. We were a bit more wavy, I think, maybe these areas around here, but it's pretty much followed it into what looks like an incredible geometric town centre here. Let's look at this.
And if you'd like to get more from the channel, check out the Patreon linked below. There you can directly support my videos and get your name listed at the end of the content. Receive early access to videos when possible, extra previews, screenshots, shoutouts, save files, and a wonderful community from as little as £2 per month, plus access to the exclusive Patreon podcast Eggs on Toast, where you can listen to me interview some of your favourite creators.
Welcome onto the podcast for you, Candy.
Thank you for having me.
Joined by the enigma that is City Planner Plays. City Planner, welcome to the podcast, mate.
Thank you so much, Egg. Happy to be here.
Joined by the one and only Biffa.
Hello, how you doing?
Massive shout out to the patrons that support these videos. Let's get back to today's build.
And this looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm always a fan of any kind of big geometric, symmetrical design with big important assets. It's one of my favorite thing to do in CS, and this is a great little town centre configuration. Definitely taking inspiration from what lay here in 2 Church with the bus lanes. And I actually kind of prefer this design actually, this is very nice. But you've got a lot of bus capacity here. This is a great configuration if anyone's looking for bus inspiration. You can get tons of stops in this setup. Another reason why plazas and promenades is such a good DLC. Pedestrian roads are brilliant. And then trams immediately next door with, again, plenty of capacity. This is a great terminus here. Love lots of public transport and of course all the cycling cutting right through the middle of this with a phenomenal view, of course, to his skyline. Love that. Looks really sweet. Very special indeed. Beyond this, he's got the usual low density sprawl, which has all been managed very nicely. Sensible sized grids maximise the density here in terms of actual zonable space. Hospitals, schools, pitches, very nice. Great little collection of service assets here. We've also got some little bits of detailing through here as well. Some classic rock wall to hide a terrain layer. Love that. And a nice little fountain in fence, which is really sweet. Love that. He chose to go with a bridge over this way as another road actually comes through here and cuts across the river, which is where did ours go for this one? It came against the water, didn't it? And we crossed over here, I think, if I can remember rightly. A different configuration, we'll get over to that though. Following the couplet 3, we arrive at a bit of Brooklyn, Queens, so again, which has all had it. Favourite landscaping done to it. We've got plenty of fence, bushline pathways through here. Nice kind of joining of the couplet as well, as it comes a little bit closer together as it ascends up the hill. With some wonderful park space here, of course, the Slipper of Slanesh, as it's known. One of the, reminds me actually, we need to do a Warhammer Park in Rannoch, don't we? I think it's Cornstone, right? Sure it is. But then across the castle ruins you come on to some varsity sports assets, so we do actually have a campus, which is a great positioning for the campus against the couplet system. Yes please. Really like that. Even the elevated tram is coming down as well. Where's that coming from? From the station, this appears near that supermarket asset. It was a really interesting design to go with here. And great campus configuration, look at this. Metro station out the front. What is the ridership like actually on public transport in the city? Let's have a look. About 15,000 people a week coming through the public transport, which is crazy. And I love the campus itself. Great orientation with the School of Engineering right up against the river like that. Such an important view that, isn't it? Look at that. Really nice. I would have loved to have included my School of Engineering actually along this river. That's a little bit of key work would have been great here too, I think, just to embellish the school. What's that lovely campus design? Look at all this pathwork. Very nice. All nicely spaced. Nice design to it. Fountains. Pretty much all the assets included as well. Love this little central bit here. Isn't that a great screenshot? Really nice campus space, that. Very good. Possibly one of the better campuses I think we've seen on City Showcase, actually. This is a real nice one. All on pathways. And it fills a nice spot. Big one, too. With the varsity sports also included. All 4 of them, too, actually, which is just what I've noticed. So I guess there's no, the American football arena isn't here, is it? But 4 out of 5 is still very good. There's also nightlife down here as well on the couplet road, with buses flowing on it too. And then a Brooklyn and Queens district, which has some services tucked in here, with some parks dotted around it as well. Which brings us up to the edge of this land here. We've also got some observatory action up here as well. This looks very Imperator inspired, doesn't it? Really nice way to use the observatory there. Very cute. Love the use of pedestrian roads with it too. But a very different 2 Church, isn't it? Compared to what we did here. Of course, I want to save the CBD airport areas for the later stages of the video. So let's turn around and check out what he did and the other direction of the starting tile, and we'll kind of move through all this area over here. So we also had our lumber industry here too, but this is a nice setup here, lots of repetition. He's also got the zoned industry in as well, which is giving him raw materials. Very nice to see this. So really help your production chain stay stocked, especially with rebalance industries on too. Very nice. We've also got some great positioning of saplings against an arterial. Isn't that a fantastic aesthetic? Timeless, I think, isn't it? Been doing this since Palawan, and it never ever gets old. So I really like how you positioned all that there against the road. A nice forestry area too. Is it profitable for the simulation, please? It's not -5. It's fine though. They do fluctuate, of course. Very nice, regardless. And then this area here is totally different. So of course we had our regional airport build here, but I can see similarities with the farmland here. Huge repetitions of the vanilla assets, which is really the only way to get kind of huge fields, isn't it? Really, in vanilla. But it looks nice regardless. And I can also see a build from Orchid Bay that did make it over here, which is the golf course, which has been very nicely done. Really fun way to use pathways, this. Park space as well, so you've got gazebos out here too, which will make your paths walkable if people choose to come and visit them. Anyone in here now? No, it's pretty quiet at the minute, but either way, a really nice use of some paths to create something a bit more unique, isn't there? There's also a stadium out here as well, hooked into some train infrastructure, which is heading all the way over there. The networks get pretty crazy over here, don't we? We'll check that out in a second. And then this is going off into the rural areas, I think, where we also arrive upon his, again, I guess his space campus, I suppose. Which is very heavily landscaped, of course. Enormous fan of the bushline pathways. I love what you've done with the triangle fountains there. That's very creative. I love that sort of geometry to the build there. That's very nice. Really sweet. This continues all the way throughout as well, doesn't it? Very nice. Super cute that. Does this district have a name? Secret Research Center. I love it. Perfect. It is exactly a secret research center, isn't it? Love that. Great view, of course, over to his sprawl across the Bay Rivers as well. And then we have the train police. Look away. The train police won't be happy with that one, but I won't tell them anyway. That's okay. And then we come into some more rural vibes out here as well. We didn't end up going as far up the valley as Orchid Bay did here, but either way, really cute town centre. Nice and simple, right? There's something so wholesome about little town centre builds like this. Just a sports pitch, a couple of services, a clinic, a police station, a couple of larger service assets as well. Some of my favourite things to build in CS, you know, these smaller rural little village and town centres. I really do enjoy them. And then the sprawl continues into the corner of the map where there is nothing, so we'll head over to this way. I think we just got sprawling suburbia out here. We had our oil refinery in Orchid Bay here, didn't we? And of course an Imperator interchange, and I can see he has actually recreated Imperator's airbase, which is very, very cool. Of course, Imperator, German genius. Built us an Air Force base as a part of a collab. Absolute hero. And yeah, he's masterfully recreated it here. Actually, he's even got the kind of the bunkers, or the sort of, you know, underground hangars, if you like, whatever they're intended to be, right, with the pedestrian pathways. Very tasty. And then some nice lined up plain airport detail in here too. Right, with the rest of the airbase intact, lots of forestry. I think these are farmers' barracks, aren't they? Which very much do look like kind of soldier accommodation, if you like. Barracks, I suppose, is the word, isn't it? But yeah, really nice. Super cute. I guess let's keep swinging around this valley while we've entered it, and then we can backtrack on ourselves, of course. So I didn't end up doing much with this map at all, this part of the map, because obviously the node count ran out. But there is stuff over here, so we've got some train infrastructure, which is where that one's heading off through there. Central Park is out here too. We've also got lots of European suburbia. Up to a little straight ramp interchange, which is working quite nicely. And then we come over to some more significant industrial infrastructure. Really like this arrangement here, actually. You've got storage in there, waste processing, zoning, warehouses. More waste processing too. Ore industry and factories. It's a really nice combination of industry there. Very nice, tasteful. We then arrive at what for me was the naval base, but what is it here? Do we have a name? No, there's no name here. But either way, we can see some little prop detailing. I'm guessing just some sort of waterfront industrial yard, which has been very nicely done actually with vanilla assets. Lots of the containers, mass repetitions of these oil and gas silos are very key, I think, for a port, aren't they? Especially in vanilla when you're using official assets. Very cute as well. I love the little container yard. warehouses in here as well, storing lots of goods with tons of fishing going on as well. Lovely stuff. Heading over, we've got our networks coming there, going to the outside connection, I guess. Yes, they are. That's wonderful. Coming into a big old ore quarry here, which is partnered with nuclear plants and coal plants. That's a really neat configuration there. I love that pattern of the 4 coal plants together. That's very cool. Makes it look like one kind of continual larger asset, doesn't it? Very nice. Next to waste disposal units from the Japan pack, and then nuclear plants with lots of coal storage here as well. So does this have a name as well? So yeah, it's just straight up coal power plant. So I guess you're repurposing the nuclear plants as cooling towers for the coal plant then, right? I like that idea. That's very clever. It's a nice sort of repurposing of a similar asset there. Super cute. Very nice coal plant in vanilla. Very nice. We have a major container port over here with more of his container detailing with the cargo cranes actually over here too, plus the sea mining. Well, that's the geothermal plant, isn't it? It is. I always get this confused with the seabed ore vessel for some reason. A shipyard and oil rigs also present over here as well as his industrial yards fill this space. I got the peanut bowl over here as well with mass parking, of course. Key aesthetic for any stadium build. Lovely stuff. Really like that. And then I love this stadium too, of course. I'm still yet to really use it myself. I've not put it down anywhere yet. But I will at some point, I promise. We will get to that. We then arrive at another wonderful, symmetrical pedestrianised bit. I remember at Toolbox's city he featured in one of the first few episodes of this series. And he's a big fan of his pedestrian roads. He uses them very nicely. But this is great again. More landscaping, metro in here too. Do we have a theme of this build? Does it have a name? The royal residence, of course. What else? This is where the royal family of the city is living. With their own metro station too. Very nice. Get some walking porn here too. Very tasteful. There we all go. Brandenburg Gate is a great inclusion. I really love the centralization going on here. Very nice asset at Brandenburg Gate. Can be used in a lot of different settings. Statue of Colossus is also here too before we have this big dense block pop up nearby. To the highway interchanges we arrive at yet another campus over here. This tunnel, where are you going here? Can we tell? There, I'm guessing. That comes out into a bit near the downtown, which we'll cover while we're over there. But Brooklyn and Queens through here, just lots of density. I think we should go on to the waterfront, which has got seaside resorts, mid-century modern European suburbia right here. More general sort of sprawl and service in this district. Of course, we had an entire downtown over here. Old Haven occupied this space for us, didn't it? And then we come into this. Another gem of a campus. Yes, please, look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Really, really nice. Another central design with the metro in the main building. There are lots of dense roadies. I really like that. Especially out the back of the main building where it has that little like kind of rotunda on it. You imagine that would be a very landscaped, cute area, wouldn't you? I like the dense roadies in the campus. Need to do more of this. I've seen this in a couple of city showcases now, this dense roadie thing. Don't do it enough. So down in the campus again, there's more statues. You are a pro campus builder at all. I have thoroughly enjoyed all of your campus builds. Of course, I'm an enormous advocate for the campus DLC. One of my favourites. Absolutely love them. Really hoping CS2 gets something similar. I love the campus aspect of the game. But nice centralised mall design here too. All the assets included. Fantastic stuff. Really, really nice. All bush lined as well. Been through with the line tool. Fantastic stuff. And then the School of... I want to say tourism and travel, but I don't think it is. Science, damn it. School of Science is over here too. That's fine. And a really nice waterfront, although something has burnt down, goodness gracious. Rest in peace to those. With more varsity sports and the big old American football stadium right on the water here, combined with a ferry depot. Do we have ferries back into here? No, we don't. Not currently in use. But I like the combination though. I think there's something to be had now, isn't there? That'd be good if we could centralise it there, just a little bit over to the left. Yeah, I think you could probably get quite a lot of walkability on the ferries with that setup. But more varsity spots in here, which rounds out the kind of more awkward bay areas of the map. In Orchid Bay, funnily enough. But yes, that then drops us off in the downtown, for which hopefully we can see a bit of a preview of the skyline there, which is very tasty, isn't it? Very nice. Quite different to Orchid Bay's skyline. But either way, we'll swing back through the valley and then head the other way out into the countryside from where we were with the golf course and the farms. We have what's like a big oil plant over here. Lots of oil storage nearby to vanilla oil stations, also oil industry in there. With some light prop detailing, yes please. Love to see it. Water treatment centre certainly over here, immediately identifiable as it. It must be producing a ton of water to be stocking these tank reservoirs. Holy smokes. Pumping capacity is 3.5 million cubic meters a week, yeah, so quite a lot. Quite a lot. But I really like the design, regardless. Lots of asset repetition. Which comes onto an enormous ore site that really dominates this hill, doesn't it? Look at that. You can see that from pretty much anywhere in the city. What a beast of a site. But enormous assets, rotary kilns, all tucked in through here. What big warehouses. Some rail work over here as well. Although you don't need the loop here though. They will back up and out. You don't need to do a turnaround. It will work without that. You'll save yourself some nodes too. Which comes into some big rail interchange here by the water treatment plant. Which goes pretty crazy over here, isn't it? There's lots of different connections happening. Train police won't be happy with you at all for this, but we won't tell them. The car factory is over here actually, just across the forest from where we ran into that baseball stadium a bit earlier out here by the mountains. There's nothing tucked in and missing here, is there? No, definitely checked everything over there. These networks then continue into another enormous oil site over here. This is where his refinery is, isn't it? He's gone with the monorail pipeline aesthetic. So cool, that, isn't it? Like how they've integrated it there. Such a cool way to use the monorail lines, isn't it? Tasteful stuff. Highway goes right through the middle, actually, which is a really cool aesthetic. That's got to be a great drive-by, right? Super important sort of positioning and orientation of this massive industrial infrastructure by the highway. Gives you a very kind of important view, doesn't it? Lovely. Like that. And then more barracks over in the corner with warehouses and more train stations. But yeah, really busy rail network though. There's rail jutting out all over the place. Very cool. Beyond this, we come into some more outer line builds. What is clearly a prison over here, which is a nice little prison configuration. Actually, really like how I've done this. Some sports fields for them too. Very athletic prison. Fencing and the usual guard tower action around the edge. Very fun. Across the water here, we've got a sneaker factory with tons of warehouses. A few more sports fields too, with parking and some nice simple, very sort of Nubioke-esque ramps there as well. Love to see it. Nice interchange. And then edge of the map over here, of course. We'll grab these outer line builds while we're here. We've got is a cargo airport, I think. It is indeed. And with lots of cargo vibes. That's a great little vanilla cargo airport there. I probably would have kept the train line on the ground personally. But still, this is very nice. I love the dual runway system here, slightly offset from each other too. Very nice, like that. And planes refueling over here. Great stuff. Nice little cargo airport configuration, that. Lemonade factory is across the hill from here. Going with some parking. We've also got some local crops in here as well, which is cute. Helping to feed the factory, I imagine. And across from this, we have another airport over this way. This is a big one too, isn't it? Holy smokes. So where's the entrance here? Where are we? So we have highway coming out of the oil refinery. This comes into this airport here where we've got an exit ramp system into elevated terminal infrastructure, Usual car parking and hotels and pathway designs at the front of the terminal here. It's a nice little area there. Into an enormous concourse strip. Look at this, holy crap. This is one of the biggest I've ever seen. There's tons of stands here. I honestly wonder how many active flights this airport has with so many stands. Only 24, really? That is very surprising, actually. Maybe that's the key, is to spam them, so you don't get too many. Maybe it caps out at a certain point, I'm not sure. But nice airfield configuration. Using the runways nicely configured against the taxiway system. I love the big central concourse with the hub at the end, very tasteful. Nice arrangement of what are they called? Airport lounges as well. Yeah, really nice little airfield, that one, very cute. Of course nearby to his cargo airport too. Another factory district over here where we're feeding the food factory with crops and everything that it needs as well is all being produced immediately nearby with some nice rock wall stuff here too. Some embanked farms up here. Looks very industrial. Love it. Very nice, good positioning too with the food factory just there. Little outlying industrial site. More industry over here. He's built this area up totally different to Orchid Bay, which is really interesting to see, you know, how someone else's mind decides what an area should be. Like, we've really developed the map very differently over here. Over here we have more ore industry feeding the electronics factory, it would look like, with metals and glass, whatever else it wants. We're coming back into civilization here now, it looks like, as well. Roll up the coastline and catch all this stuff around here. So we've got some stadiums out here, some shopping mall, zoning with big old stadiums too, plus the castle hotel, which is immediately very eye-catching. I love the park waterfront. You've got the whale watching stuff there as well. Is it the whale watching, like sea life stuff, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. You see the whales in the water. There they go. Either whales or grey submarines. I guess they'll find out when they get on the boat. But I like this. This is very nice. I had a baseball park here, I think, didn't I, in Orchid Bay? I love the integration of the tram depot here, actually. That's very nicely just tucked into the road system there with a bit of a tree line around it. More geometric part work as we arrive at a very busy metro station. Where he's got another terminus, so we've got metro, tram and monorail all stopping here, plus buses too. Very tasteful. I bet this gets very busy, doesn't it? Especially when you've got the match days on at the stadiums. There's a varsity arena there too. Very nice, yes, look at this. Lots of walking action. Yes. This is what we like. This is what we like. This is why we all play, isn't it? Why we all play. Yeah, the castle integration is very interesting here. The castle hotel, of course, one of the more difficult assets in the game to make look natural. But it's always at home in and around landscaped gardens, isn't it? Especially with the geometry of the path networks on the roads too. Very tasteful. European suburbia lies in between all of these major arenas where we've got a big baseball complex here, it would seem as well, right? Here we go for kind of the large training facility here with these right nearby. Tasteful, like that. Plenty of car parking. I also noticed a big sprawling suburb on this hill as well that I don't want to miss. The planes going right overhead. I bet they don't get too much sleep in this household here, do they? With, the flight path so close. But really nice hilltop design with the parks and the school up this way. Great views across the whole city here, right? From this town. Love to see it. Great view to the dense areas over there as well. And then this drops us off back at the highway networks around the prison and the oil refinery. Heading back this way, we've got a big old design here. This has to be something, right? The botanical gardens, of course it is. What else? Really nice, great use of pedestrian roads again from a tool. He really likes them, doesn't he? With plenty of patterns in here as well. Extended the plants. I love the inclusion of giraffes in a botanical garden, actually. That's a really nice way to use zoo assets. Very cute. I like that. Birdhouse always also a good shout for that idea too. Same with the elephants. Yeah, really nice. Let's get a bigger sight line here. Where does the sight line sit? From here? Oh, yes it does. Isn't that great? Really nice positioning of some assets there. Super stuff. Gardens over here too. I love this design here. With the paths and the repeated plazas. Very, very nice indeed. Some detail up here as well with the fountains. Really nice stuff at all. Really nice design there, mate. You're great at using your pedestrian pathways. Pedestrian roads, rather. Because every pathway is pedestrian, isn't it? Over here, the roads join back in with a trumpet intersection, and then we have lots of outer-lying European suburbia sprawl. With a space centre located here, we've also got the Space Needle as well. Which is the DSRO, which I'm guessing is the Decorea Space Research Operations, maybe? Probably not. But he's also got the design hotel in here as well. Let's have a look at his I always forget to check this sort of stuff. Yeah, his international hotel chain is doing very well. All of them are making profit. Very nice. With the Space Needle immediately next door, that's pumping out thousands of passengers. Where are they going? All into this underground metro that's getting 2,000 people a week from one underground metro station is really busy. Let's see if I'm emerging out of the food ace there. This is a gorgeous asset. This is from Railroads of Japan. If you don't have this, it's absolutely gorgeous metro station. Really, really nice. Down below on instant gaming as well, by the way, if you're interested. Very cheap now. Yes, and lots of landscaping again, kicking back in with the glass plaza. Great stuff. And we also have the space launch building, of course. There's the radar here. Multiple helicopter centres. Oh, it sits across the highway from another water treatment centre. It looks like a bit of industry. Blended in with the school. I really like what we've done with the car park in there, actually. The park in the middle. Very nice, that. It's a very cute little school campus. This waterfront park also comes to a close down here as well, as the elevated cycle infrastructure and the monorail road goes off down there. Before we then start arriving into Wingfour Hills, we also missed this nuclear plant over here as well, didn't we? Which is a combination of some sewage, high-tech assets, warehouses over here as well, on a little island. Very nice. Very different to how I developed this part of the map over here. And then we have Wingfour Hills, of course, which it won't be called Wingfour Hills here, but it's a similar sort of hilltop mountain design. He's done a bit more terraforming here than I did. But nice interchange ramps here too. Sensibly graded, lovely stuff. And that heads back down toward the starting interchange where the city begins. Bit of a bus stop up here too, it looks like. Not too busy up here though. And you got some more pictures. Which then comes over into the next sort of major town over here, which is quite the installation, isn't it? What are we looking at here? Do we have names? So we have the Afro-Decorarian Maritime Museum. Very interesting. And then the Drake Memorial as well. So let's check this out. So Sahara Institute blended in with Conference Centre and Seaside Resorts. Plus the Snake Building as well. Probably some of the most unique combination of assets I think I've ever seen in CS there. But I do like the road design around here too. So I guess with the Maritime Museum, this is the main building. And then the Seaside Resorts, I suppose, would be all the maritime related buildings perhaps. This is probably the most mental asset in the official pool, I think, isn't it? The spider riding the snake is such a difficult one to use. But really interesting geometric path networks here, coming into another big symmetrical town centre design using the Statue of Industry. Lots of bush lining again, love to see it. Lovely embanked highway there too. Very nice use of rock wall to hide that layer, I like that. Yeah, but yeah, really nice little town centre. And then there's also a bit of metro kicking around here as well, with more town centre vibes, a bit of commercial and mid-century modern. Train station also on here as well, that has an outside connection going all the way through there. Also goes underground here too, and then back through the start of the map into that train station we were at earlier by the food market. But always train lines are nice and clear, which is very tasteful. And then the waterfront, more park infrastructure picks back up as the road moves away from the coast. And that pretty much carries on all the way up into downtown, doesn't it, with park assets. It has just some more European suburbia, Brooklyn and Queen districts. Nice way of blending in your garbage processing into a neighborhood there, very overgrown, very densely forested. There are 2 or 3 assets to help process. I really like that setup. Very nice, that. Also looks great for sort of next to a rail as well, doesn't it? Very nice. And then Brooklyn and Queens all wrap up around this major stadium. The Glass Eye Arena is my favourite one in the game, which should have some really nice views to his skyline from in here as well. Isn't that tasty? That is really nice. Great views up there. Love this asset. Can't really go wrong with it. And then very much sort of medium density city begins here, doesn't it? It really does. So we've got lots of Brooklyn and Queens, wall to wall. Vanilla commercial, that is, I think, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's vanilla commercial. Been left to grow it to its higher levels, which does provide a nice skyline in itself, doesn't it? Just a lot of asset repetition, really. That's why I tend not to let mine go to levels 4 and 5 that often, just the odd tower. So you don't tend to get the variety. But this is a very nice integration of the stock exchange. Look at this. Really, really nice. It's got the road hierarchy going straight down from the stadium here. Of course, this was such an important view in Orchid Bay, wasn't it? The view from here up to that major medium to high density crawl. So the main strip all the way through here up to this stock exchange is flowing wonderfully. And we can also see a bit of the BRT system that we had integrated in here too. I really love what you've done with that pathway there as well, actually. That's a really nice way to move people around there. And make it look like a bit of a tropical garden they're walking through. I'll have to remember that idea. I like that. Very snazzy. More Brooklyn and Queens picks up back here as we arrive into the first, I guess, skyscrapers of the city, which is using the skyscrapers content creator pack. Observation tower tucked in here as well, in amongst lots of vanilla high density commercial. With some IT cluster also present as well. Which I really do like the IT cluster stuff. You get lots of variation on the floor with the Green Cities zonings, I find. Sort of the way the props and the car parks all spawn in are all very different with especially IT cluster stuff. So it's very nice. Cool. We really like that district. There's an amusement park here as well, which is really tightly packed in against the main arterial networks through this bit of the city. And a ferry terminal over here as well, which is getting a little bit of use. There's not too many cargo ships coming and going, actually. But very nice, nonetheless. The mall also sits here as well. As we arrive at the music festival area, really nice use of pathways to sort of blend all that together there. You've even got people... Well, wait, are they just... Will they walk onto the asset there? Oh, they will. Interesting. I've never noticed that before. That's another connection, is it? Okay. We'll have to remember that one, because that's a really cool way to just integrate this asset into a wider park area, isn't it? Fan zone immediately next door, which is always a classic combination, isn't it? Commercial, hotels, train stations all meet here as well. We have the most insane configuration of elevated zoo paths. Look at this. I feel like this is a bribe of tour books. I feel like you know you're sending this city in for me to look at, so you've replaced everything with elevated zoo path. Does it look glorious? All bow. All hail. The elevated zoo path. The best path in the game, of course. Best path across both games, really. Also, it's very busy, anyway. As it arrives at the edge of the IT cluster district with more density, the stock exchange plaza is in here too. With big rocks and hospitals, services, fire, police. This mental sunken station which looks very busy, look at that. Yes please. Looks like all the lines are active as well, besides this one on the left. Pretty much all of them are stopping here. What's the ridership? Oh, 4,000, yes please. Yes please, that all works. That is gorgeous. Very, very nice indeed. We love a high ridership metro plaza. That's what's fueling this path network, isn't it? It is all there. All the people coming out the metro station there. Lovely stuff. Nice centralised design with the clock tower. More stadiums tucked in. Where we arrive at the international airport. which is a big old configuration here. I love this detailing, very tasteful. You've got the roads running parallel with one another right in and out of the airport island. Airport headquarters over here too. Only the one terminal, looks like it is, yeah. Just the one terminal here. You've also got more concourse hubs over here as well. This is very nice here. I love the separate concourse here as well. I imagine it's connected by metro, isn't it? It is indeed. And plenty of active flights, just the one runway here. A very long runway too. But lovely stuff. You've also got another cargo container port across from the airport here too, which is totally different to how I designed it, and I really like actually how that looks. The aesthetics of the red cranes and the ships moving too nearby to the airport is very welcome. I really like that. It's a great view there, isn't it, as well? Really nice skyline, great stuff. This cargo port again is made up of classic container detailing, some oil industry in there as well, alongside garbage recycling and storage. Very, very tasty. We'll save the city centre to the very end. There's also some stuff out here. This was, of course, our national park, and it looks like it also is a national park for a ton as well. It's got some nature reserves at the top of the hill here. A canal also cutting through as well. Interesting choice there. Yeah, with plenty of nature reserve assets scattered around here. Very nice. Nothing atop the mountaintops, unfortunately. The Garden of Eden, or the Eden Project, I always call it that, don't I? It's the bloody Eden Project, is tucked in out here as well. Which, isolated up on a hillside, isn't horrendous. I don't like it. Definitely, I think... I don't know, is this the hardest asset in the game to use? I'd probably say the medical centre and the Space Needle are probably a bit more difficult than this one. But, don't mind it here actually, isolated up in the hills with lots of exotic tropical trees around it. That definitely helps it settle in a bit more, I think, doesn't it? Not bad at all. Oh, head onto this island here and check out these areas. Yeah, we've got more kind of geometric part networks here, haven't we? All very landscaped, very symmetrical. With Metro, we've got the Academic Library, the Creators Library over here too. Feel like this will have a special name, will it? Of course, it's Parliament. What else? It is Parliament. I wonder if this may be slightly Thessia inspired, perhaps. Kind of reminds me a bit of Thessia's Parliament area. Very cool. Either way, over here we have another stadium with lots of Brooklyn and Queens. There's tons of nightlife and water wall and glass plazas along this section as well. Very much fulfilling a medium density aesthetic for him, isn't it? Courthouse integrated with path networks and bush lining next to the Copper Ball Stadium with plenty of parking around here. A very heavily detailed interchange. I love the ring patterns here. That's really nice. I like that. And then we have more medium density that way. Let's cross the bridge first. Where we have a mid-century modern suburb over here with the mall tucked in as well. And then we have another industrial site at the top of the hill, with those tunnels taking us back into this suburb over here, which we haven't checked out, have we? Let's do it while we're here. This very rich hilltop mid-century modern stuff. Of course, for me, this was an ore mine. I took this in a very different direction. And then you come down into a little bus town centre here as well. Big fan of his kind of pedestrian road terminuses, isn't he? Termini, is that the right phrase? There's a lot of them across the city. And then more mid-century modern designs, perfect grids, maximising that zonable space again with sports fields and everything else, which brings us back to the start of the city, where we missed out this park island as well, which sits, of course, where we had our big camping district out here, but he has respected the ruins that were left over this way. Very tasty. And there's lakes tucked in here too, alongside some more suburbs with fields. That brings us back to where we went into Imperator's airfield. So all that swings around. It all comes full circle, doesn't it? Exploring these cities. This area here, off of that amazingly detailed roundabout intersection, is full of Brooklyn and Queens. We've got more pitches, elevated train lines through here. Definitely a bit of a design here with the high interest tower. This is definitely going to be something, isn't it? What do we have here? This is the Riverside Media Club. Very cool. So the broadcasting stations, television station. Very kind of media city, this actually, in Manchester. Definitely this vibe here. Lots of like shallow luxury water jets and glass modern office buildings. Very much the vibe around Salford these days. Soon to be Old Trafford as well, given the current redevelopment plans, right? But otherwise, I like that. Not bad at all. That finishes that island. There is also some nice detailed park spaces along this waterfront as well, using these stairkeys. Lots of benches, pathways. It's quite a busy little park as well, actually. There's a lot of people walking up and down here, which brings us to a wonderful view of the master skyline here, right? Isn't that fantastic? Really nice city centre here. Let's get stuck into it, shall we? So, leaving from that metro hub, we have another stadium here. The big box stadium. I love this one. And then the skyline itself, made up of zoning. There's green cities in there, vanilla commercial, hotels and tourism, unique buildings, skyscrapers, content creator pack of course. A big baseball centre in the middle of the city as well, which is a very unique aesthetic. I really like the idea of that, kind of stumbling across a massive sports park right in the heart of the towers. You get in a very kind of Manhattan island vibe here, right? Lots of greens surrounded by huge towers is very New York City, isn't it? Either way, very nice. Around the edge we can see that bus BRT system coming in. With lots of little landscape ground, lots of financial office zoning over here as well. But you can see why I tend not to use this stuff, right? Really don't like it. Especially the one-by-one stuff. Some of the other ones aren't too bad. I suppose I can just about tolerate these, but it's the way the glass joins the stone. It looks so stupid. Anyway, not to inflict my own personal opinions upon the financial DLC, but I like what you've done with the skyline. It's very dense, much denser than Orchid Bay's downtown was. And I love the position of the hotel here as well. We've got some real big important assets featured. The city centre here as well, if we're going to kind of follow the road away from the towers. Nice flow to it. I'm actually interested to see, are we still in the 90% of traffic? We are, after the city's been running for a while now as well. It even just went up 91%. There really is no bottlenecks anywhere in the city. Yeah, I mean, it's marking it as red, but it's not gridlocked, is it? It's just busy. Yeah, it's great traffic flow at all. Considering you have no traffic manager in this save as well, that is pretty impressive. I know rebalance industries will be helping too, but you've still got to manage the rest of that traffic that comes in that isn't industry, you know. But very nice. Then a big scroll. And then we can enjoy a big stroll down the main street here. Lots of different towers. Very cool, big important intersections. It's very dense, very dense. Which it should be in a downtown. So I'd like to say tons of different storefronts. Different heights of buildings as well. Deathcare, conveniently tucked in as well. And yeah, really nice city centre. I really like that. Another massive car park space there as well. Very American, that is. It reminds me of that picture of, I think, is it Austin in Texas, or it might be Dallas, where the downtown is just surrounded by car parking. Reminds me of that. Editing Egg will try and leave it up in the edit, I'm sure. And then that finishes the city centre there, doesn't it? Lots of dense zoning. We've also got the paths leaving out here as well onto that rail yard at the bottom of the cargo port over here. They're all going where exactly? Underground? And around here. Let's have a look at those underground networks. Does that just here, does it? Yeah, it does, okay. Very nice. And then that road takes us over to this little area here, which was missed, which looks like more just industrial industry. With some services tucked in, and then some more rock wall detail in here as well. With a bit of a cute vanilla rail yard kicking on too. Very tasteful. And that brings us back to this bit of the city here, actually, with the zoo that we never checked out. I missed this one, didn't I? Next to the initial sort of bus terminus here. with the metro. Yeah, there's a nice little zoo tucked in there actually. I really love your entrance where you're packing in the assets there. And then they come into a plazas and then the zoo is all off to their right. I really like how you integrated the entrance. Very nice that. But yeah, and then elevated zoo path over the road with tree-lined eastern cottonwoods. Yes, please. We love that. We love that. That's fantastic. And then that brings us to the start of the build. I think we pretty much got everything. And of course, Orchid Bay nighttime hits different, doesn't it? We have to enjoy the nighttime. There will be some sunset cinematics at the end of the video, of course. But I love our nighttime sprawl. There's some about Orchid Bay that just hits differently at night. CS1 nighttime hits differently, really, doesn't it? So I really like it. I love that pop of gold with the amusement park and all the towers there. Very nice. All the dramatic lights from the tourism and green city stuff really lights the skyline up, doesn't it? Really sweet. It's a really nice build at Toolbox. Yeah, thank you for sending in yet another city for this series. Either way, guys, we will leave it there. Thank you so much at all for sending this in again, my friend. It's been a pleasure to look around a follow along of Orchid Bay that's seen it through to completion. It's a little bit weird for me as well to kind of look at a follow along build in this close detail. It's super cool to see my own inspiration, of course, your own ideas in here as well. I've led to a really wonderful city. I can't recommend Bay of Rivers enough if you've never built on it. There's something about this map that just is endlessly inspiring, at least in my eyes. If you want to have your city featured next time, don't forget, link below to the Google form and you can do that. And a shout out to the patrons and YouTube members that support the channel, with a roll call to our golden patron eggs: Andrew Perez, Bad Wolf, Casino, Louis Adlam, Phoenix MD, and Wesley Kip. Thank you for your support, guys. You are heroes of the people. Either way, I'll shut up and leave it there. Please do enjoy some cinematics of today's wonderful build on Bay of Rivers. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.